Che, Marín, ¿sabés qué estaba pensando? A ver qué podemos hablar.
Excuse me,
Sorry.
Paul.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're aware, but this interview was actually carried out in English, so the intro needs to be in English as well.
Oh my God. I have to switch. No. I was not ready for that.
I caught you
quit.
off guard.
Bye.
I caught you off guard.
No, I'm staying. Okay, so nothing.
So that's what we're doing. But don't worry not.
Worry
We
not.
are translators.
Oh, I will not worry, my friend. I will just carry on after you. What? I'm awful speaking in English, so so sorry. So sorry for what's next.
Don't worry.
Let's go.
You're more rusty than I am because I live in the United States, so I use English,
I'm more
oral
rusty.
English all the time.
I'm more rusty
yeah.
than you in every aspect.
No, but it was a surprise for us as well. We actually thought we were going to interview Ana in Spanish, and then we had to switch to English. So it was a surprise to us as well. And
Yes.
we did what we could. So
Yeah,
sorry if we
in
were
advance.
weird.
Okay, so let's move on to the interview, right?
Yes, because actually the interview that we have today is super interesting and with someone that I admire very much, which is
She's amazing.
Ana Schlegel, who is one of the founders of Women in Localization, this amazing organization that I've been volunteering for 6 years now. And she's a real inspiration, I think, to people in our industry. So I'm really excited for you guys to listen to this interview.
Bueno, si no saben, si alguno de los que nos escucha no quiere escuchar en inglés, yo se los recomiendo igual. Es una gran inspiración. Ana Schlegel es la fundadora de Women in Localization. Marina trabaja para esta organización hace un montón, es voluntaria. Y está re buena la entrevista. Así que yo que vos me quedo. En todo caso, después me decís, yo te la traduzco. Ponele.
Perfecto, allá vamos.
Let's go.
Hoy tenemos el gusto de entrevistar a Ana Schlegel. Ella es una reconocida experta en expansión global y estrategia de internacionalización de productos tecnológicos. Con más de 30 años de experiencia en empresas líderes de Silicon Valley como Google, Cisco, NetApp y VMware, ha dirigido equipos en áreas clave como globalización, ingeniería, marketing, estrategia corporativa y contenido técnico. Durante su tiempo en NetApp, logró posicionar la operación en Japón del puesto 12 al 1 en almacenamiento de datos. Ana es cofundadora y actual presidenta de Women in Localization y ha sido reconocida con la Creu de Sant Jordi y el premio IPEC por su impacto en la tecnología y la proyección internacional de la cultura catalana. También forma parte de varias juntas directivas y continúa su labor filantrópica y educativa como conferencista y asesora internacional. Ana, es un honor que estés aquí con nosotras en pantuflas, and we're going to switch to English. Thank you so much for joining us.
Welcome, Ana.
Having me. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you so much, because we know your schedule is packed with lots of things, and you made this, yes, and you ran to be with us for a moment, so thanks a lot. Your resume is impressive, your career is impressive. We are really excited to talk to you. Where are you located now? Right now?
Right now I'm in Barcelona.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yes.
So today we are triangulating. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Buenos Aires, Barcelona, Milwaukee. Yeah. Okay. Ana, thanks a lot again. Our first question is, how do you think corporate globalization has changed in the last 30 years? And which trends do you think will be making a mark in the future, or will be the most prominent?
My goodness, that's such a very little question.
Yeah, we begin with the easy ones. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an easy. Yeah, I think 30 years ago, not so many companies were this global. There was no thing such as offshoring. Did not exist. We did not have in the States like the influx of H-1 visas, and We did not have little computers, neither did we have WhatsApp nor Google,
That's right.
So
Yes.
none of we've seen a lot. We've seen a lot. Yeah. Very, very different. I mean, that's what's been fun is to write
It
like
was, yes.
before the internet was a thing or the internet was secure or nobody knew the word data or AI. Of
Yeah.
course, I remember the first time I heard the word localization, I got so scared. I'm like, oh my
What are they
God,
talking
it's
about?
so
Yeah.
specific. And I heard it at Yahoo,
Uh-huh.
because yeah,
Ah.
that was the very first place I heard the word localization. I'm like, what local? Okay, okay, okay. So that was my first time. Yeah, and there's not a lot of people that would talk about that word, and we're like, okay, let's do it. So
Uh-huh.
yeah. And I mean, of course, it's been such a huge change in from the systems, the computers, the operating systems, or even what we thought this could be, or the amount of technology is almost like I remember my first phone, my first cell phone, right?
Yeah, I do
So
remember that one. It
Yeah.
was like a brick.
Yeah.
it was like a
Yes.
brick. Yeah. I had a boyfriend at the time that had a huge brick and was like, oh, I will never touch this.
That's
I'll never have a phone
that
that
sounded
big.
a bit, for the cover, like Anna, my boyfriend had a big break. No, no, that's not a good that's not a good cover. No,
Oh, no, don't say this.
no, just joking. And what do you think? Do you have any, I don't know, idea what the future has for us in globalization, corporate globalization?
Well, I mean, if we're looking at the 30 past years, right, there was no thing such the internet and it wasn't safe. And there were so many people that thought it was evil. And it turned out to be pretty
Yeah.
evil. Uh, I think the change that I'm seeing is that, and I'm going to speak personally with my own experience. I thought I was building tech for global
Uh
good.
huh.
I thought it was all good, until you see how some of the countries or some of the governments use technology. That was the last 10 years, let's just last 10, 15 years. When I worked at Palo Alto Research Center at Park, I already saw the government getting in and people starting to fly to Washington to talk to the government. And when we think of like who's the largest translating agency in the States, is the government.
Uh huh.
And so here we are creating all this tech for a lot of great things. Like we can see each other now. So there's so much goodness in tech, but unfortunately, there's a lot of bad stuff happening as well. And I'm in Europe right now, where I've been here for the last 10 months and learning a lot about regulation. So we always say, the States innovates, China copies, and Europe regulates. And you know, it's not a bad thing that the EU regulates. The EU is a slow engine, but there's a lot of things that it's okay that they slowed it down a little bit because they're coming up with their own artificial intelligence laws. And because we see, I mean, I'm a Silicon Valley executive that has taken companies all over the world. Everything I've touched has gone to at least 160, 170, 180, 192 countries. And then you realize, did I know really what did it mean that that particular technology made it into a specific country? And you really don't know the impact, right? And so I'm having a little bit of a journey and a little bit of a moment to understand the other side of the equation where technology maybe went a little bit too far. Well, it didn't go
That's
a
so
little bit too far.
interesting.
It went really far out there. And so that's where I'm studying a lot of the European laws and why are they so cautious in the EU, because of things like facial recognition. I mean, I'm
Oh,
I'm
yes.
I'm a tech geek, right? I'm a super tech geek. Always so proud of when I go home to the Bay Area because that's where my family's there, my husband, kids, everybody's there. And every time I go in through the San Francisco airport, it's getting easier and easier to get in. You don't even need a passport if you have
Wow.
global entry. Your face just
Yeah.
recognized. You don't even need to
Yeah.
show your passport. And then on the other hand, is like, okay, the government knows exactly who I am.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and where I am
and
at all
where I
times.
am and who I am, and and now, of course, in the States, there's a lot of fear about social media as well, and the things you've said and post.
Yeah.
So, we're at this very odd stage where there's a lot of pause right now about tech, at least in Europe. They're not
Yeah.
buying the Silicon Valley anymore. I mean, of course, there's a lot of startups and a lot of innovators and a lot of technologists like we all are here. But there's also a lot of deep thinkers and philosophers and politicians and
Yes.
sociologists raising their hand and saying, maybe we should slow down.
Yes.
That is so interesting. The next question I have might be like a big question. I don't know if we'll have time to answer this question, but maybe you have some ideas or just some like things top of mind that that what are the most common mistakes that companies do when they're trying to expand globally, and how they can avoid them.
I think the mistake that we make is just look at it as a business. And when we talk about social responsibility, it really is very, very important more than ever. I mean, I've mainly worked on data centers and data modeling and virtualization of data centers and storage units and securing the internet and stuff like that. And it definitely has a huge impact on climate change, for example, right?
Yes.
And so I think companies, product managers are gold to getting their products into specific countries. If the executives, we see that the product is not doing well, we pull it out. It doesn't matter that it got in already. I mean, we create a little bit of chaos because when you are living in Europe, now I'm realizing, because I'm talking to a lot of politicians and a lot of lawmakers, of they don't even know what companies are landing. They have no clue if I opened up an office or if, it's just happening organically because you can get in, you can rent an office. There are plenty of agencies around the world that are trade agencies that will help you open and find people and just off you go, right? And then
Yeah.
very difficult to be able to do what all these countries need you to do. And that's why I think
Yeah.
localizers need to become strategists and they need to be very morally conscious of and this is not at all about translations, it's about impacting people's lives in that particular country and what are the laws of that country, can you do it, can you not do it, why are we bypassing sometimes. I mean, we see plenty of lawsuits against Apple, against Google, against everybody having
Yeah.
infringing, a lot of regulations. And then you obviously see these companies just putting a bunch of lawyers in an airplane to come and fight the lawsuit,
Yeah.
right? And I don't think that many product managers are aware of this or localizers are aware of this, and let alone translating agencies that just want to translate. And then among all of us, we're leaving this world a better place or a worse place, so there's this whole, I don't know, I'm in this trip right now of like socially conscious of, you know AI wastes a lot of resources, it takes a lot of energy and a lot of water, and not all these countries have good energy strategies, not all these countries have green producing energies, so there's like nuclear plants that need to be extended while countries put in solar plants or eolic plants, or so I don't know, I'm just looking at all these local movements because we techies just putting tech everywhere and products everywhere. So I don't know. And that's where I am this
Yeah,
year.
I love that you mention a lot this to be socially conscious and not just doing business and the impact on the target culture, yeah, I don't think everybody has that lens, on all the
I
time.
certainly didn't have that. I certainly didn't have that lens. To me, if I passed some compliance and I was GDPR compliant and it was in the language of the user, there we went.
Yeah, sure.
you know, it's so much bigger than
Yeah,
that, right?
sure.
There's governments behind it, there's deals that we don't know about it, there's people
Yeah.
plotting stuff. I mean, it's all kinds of
There's
stuff.
a lot more, yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in relation to that, I wanted to ask you, well, I think you are kind of talking about this. How important do you think cultural adaptation is in the success of an international brand, you know, when we're talking about globalization and localization?
Yeah. It's extremely, extremely important because, and I saw this, I was the GM for international for Procore Technologies the last 3 and some years before I moved to Europe. And Procore Technologies, as an example, is a construction platform. It's the number one construction platform in the world that does incredibly large projects like stadiums and highways and subways, and it's an incredibly powerful platform. Our aim was always to understand how do local construction crews work, because every country has their own construction rules. And then, for example, in Europe, you don't only have the local rules, you have the European Union. And so, what a supervisor, I'll give you an example, what a supervisor in the United States, in the Bay Area, because we went to look at a lot of processes, we would go and check how people work all the time, how they work in the States, or let's say in the Bay Area where I saw, and I went to Texas, I went to Canada, I went to Denmark, I went to observe how construction crews work so that we could mimic the workflow. They're different around the world because, let's say, in the UK, you need to log in hours differently than you log in hours in Catalonia. I'll give you that example. Now, how is a US product manager or a Chinese product manager or an Argentinian product manager supposed to know that, right? So you need to travel, you need to have people locally. And again, it's not about language. It is a lot about language. It is actually, it's quite a bit a lot about language because construction, the more the business, the more common the business is, the more different the Spanish will be, the more
Exactly.
different the
Yes.
English will be.
Yes.
Right? And so if I sell my platform to somebody in the UK, it better be working for a supervisor in the UK, because there's nothing worse than they're building a building or airport terminal that they're missing a process in there.
Yeah.
So that's why localization is so important. And then here's where the brand comes in. They may think that we're dumb or stupid that we threw that product or platform into their country and we didn't study them well enough. And so here's again the US mentality and the European mentality, where US, we are very, we just go, go. And in Europe, it's the opposite. They study 20 million times until they move a little step. And so it's good that we have people from all over the world. We need people from Africa, we need people from Asia, because these platforms are moving everywhere. And so, is it going to work? You have to be clever enough to find the common denominator and then make some of the changes or make the platform so super flexible or dynamic that they can modify it. So that's to me, it's localization, is make sure the product of these very complex platforms, they're platforms that are very easy. Instagram is super easy,
Yeah.
right? But something that requires, civil engineers or how an architect works around the
Right.
world, they're very different.
Exactly.
Right. That's, oh my gosh. This is a fascinating topic for me. But I want to ask you about something that I'm so excited to ask you about, which is women in localization.
Yay!
Marina is
Because
fangirling
you
right now.
are one of
Fangirling. Yes.
Yes, I am totally fangirling. I think Anna is amazing that she had the vision to make this organization possible.
Thank you so
And
much.
it's made such a huge impact on our
It is,
industry, in so many people's
I
lives.
cannot thank the thousands of people that have worked for us. Thousands. There's no way that Sylvia, Eva, and I, when we were working at Verisign and we're like, let's create a little something for women, would have reached these many thousands and thousands and thousands of people in so many countries. But yet there's another philosophy that I have.
Hi, please share, please.
What is it?
I have another philosophy. So I went to give a talk this weekend with a EU member of parliament. And the topic, it was a panel in a castle, it was beautiful. There were a lot of people, a lot of geopolitics people. It was like a geopolitical panel conference. And they were talking about the far right movement.
Whoa.
Far right movement. So here's my theory, okay? So I listened to a geopolitical MP from Europe. I listened to a professor of one of the Barcelona universities who's studying boys and girls below the age of 21, under the age of 21. And one very clear outcome of this professor's study is that young men under the age of 21 are going towards the far right way faster or easier than young women under 21. And so he gave a lot of examples of why young men are looking for what's called a strong man.
The new masculinity they're talking about, right?
They're looking for that masculinity. They're looking for what they see in, I know you guys are in gaming, but they're looking very much at what's in gaming. They spend hours and hours and hours every single day on YouTube and different apps on their phones. And there's a lot of violence, and there's a lot of sentences and grammar that is being placed against women. So what they're discovering right now is that there is a trend back at, what a man means for somebody who's under 21. It's like I was listening, there's data. This guy talked for like 1 hour. And then it was my turn to speak. And I had something written, but I'm like, the hell with what I was going to talk about.
I'm improvising,
what? Let me give a theory or my hypothesis as to why young women, are not falling for the super far right as easily. Because we are empowering them. Because we are, for the last 15, 20 years, empowering them so heavily, so much. There's the words. There's women in technology, women in legal, women in marketing, women in localization, women in gaming, women everywhere, pushing so hard for parity and equality and female rights. One of the examples that so we saw some of the comments that the boys were answering a very large survey, is they were saying, I don't like it that that girls are taking my job away.
My God.
And so here we are, women entering the workforce, entering boards, going up in the ranks slowly, very slowly. This is just the beginning. There's not even that many of us up there, right? But they're starting to feel it, and they don't like it. They do not like it. And so my speech was, looking at the women in the audience, was, don't listen to any of these data, just keep going. And women feel that they don't need to go for strong men because they are strong. They don't need this validation. They're getting their validation from their moms that have jobs. They're getting this validation from their neighbors who are financially independent. They're looking for associations, forums,
their
awards,
friends,
commercials,
colleagues.
right? We're still not perfect, but there's this resurgence, there's this wave of women that are empowering other women, and it's working.
Yeah.
And then my aha was women in localization. It's one example where we support women. We tell them, go for it. We empower you. Do you need mentorship? Here are jobs. Here's how we train you on AI. Here's how we train you on branding. So this has an impact that these women feel more focused and safer in the workplace than before, than let's say 20 years ago. And so they sort of see a way of moving forward, and they don't need to fall on politics or some story, and they feel that they can go out and demonstrate, where before women in the 70s in some countries, they could not even vote. So we've come a long way, and I don't want this to change, and I want women in localization to move faster. I'm telling my board all the time, we're in 30 countries, 40, 50, 60, we're not going to stop, because I do events. Like yesterday, I got an award here for like woman of the whatever, and
Yes.
so many women came to thank me and to say I didn't know you, and oh my God, so powerful. And some were crying, and they were not young. They were not young. One was telling me she started studying SQL, and it was so hard. And I said, I know SQL is hard. Don't give up, you know. And another one was telling me that she wasn't feeling very strong. She was going through a divorce or whatever, right? So we need to be here for each other, and that's why women in localization is really, really powerful. And I tell them every day, and I'm so thankful we had this idea and
Yeah.
the know-how and the grit to keep it going, right?
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's had a direct impact in my career, I have to say, Anna. But I know so many people were impacted positively
Okay.
through this organization. So, yeah,
Oh, that's
just
awesome to hear.
I'm just so thankful
Well,
to
you
you.
know what? When so many people thank you, thank you, thank you. The way to thank is to give back.
Yes.
I take
Yes,
your thanks. You know, it makes
yes,
me very emotional. I could cry every day. And then I say, please now
Keep the thing moving, you know? Yes.
yes. Keep it
talk to
going.
a
I've
minister,
been
talk to a,
volunteering. I've been volunteering for 6 years.
oh my God,
And
Yes.
next week we organize an event in Los Angeles with women in
that's
localization.
awesome.
Last month I sponsored an event for the women in localization Madrid. So I'm very, very
You
involved,
are
and
She
involved.
I
is.
am
We
I
giving
need
back.
vouch
I
for
am
that.
giving
She
back.
more.
is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
We
awesome.
should give it
Thank you.
a better impulse in Argentina, Marina, I think. Right?
Yes,
Yes.
continue. Yes, they
Yes,
have
but I have,
a
yes, there is
chapter
a
there.
chapter, but we need, I don't know, more power, I think.
Keep it going,
Yes.
Pao.
We are
Give them
going
a little
to yes.
nudge.
To keep the right, yeah, you know, you scared me with what that teacher said. But that's something I've been reading about, you know, the
Well,
new
yeah,
bro
here's what
culture and the new masculinity and all that wave, which is, oh
we
my
have to.
God.
Don't be
No,
scared.
no, no.
Don't be scared.
Scared in the
Be
good way,
scared
like
for
let's fight, girls. But
you know we need to be
yeah,
clever.
sure. And we need to
We
know
need
Yeah.
to know. We
those
don't
things.
need to be scared about this. I was talking to a CEO yesterday, a female CEO, and said, Anna, I love how open you are, because not a lot of women talk like this. And why wouldn't we label or say the things we're saying? Because we need to address them, you know, and we need to confront them, and we need to play with them, and we need to see how to keep helping women in Iran and women in so many places around the world that are suffering right now. They look up to us. I've met a collective from Iran here that they're constantly looking at women in Catalonia. You know, they're like, oh, women here don't wear veils, and women here don't this, and women here. And so everybody can be a role model. You don't have to be a mega leader. Like they see us. They see YouTube. They see
Yeah.
videos. They see TikToks. They see Instagram, because they can VPN. They can get away around.
Sure, they can see what happens in other parts of the world. That's amazing. Anna, well, one, not the last question, but yes, maybe. Can you tell us a bit about your book, Truly Global, the theory and practice of bringing your company to international markets?
Sure, of course, of course. I'm always happy to talk about this book. So it's called Truly Global. It's had 3 editions, and it's very much about not how it is how you take the company, globally because I've worked at companies that were not global. That's my expertise. I go in when they want to. They're like, they're pre-IPO and they know that for them to be in Wall Street, they need to go global. So that's when I get in usually. And we know how to do that through product market fit and studies and customer visits around the world and picking the right countries. And so all of that is explained in the book because I thought, man, it took me forever to figure this out. I want to share
Yeah,
it. It's a very small
that's
book.
great.
It's very cheap. Like share the love. Why not? Because it's very difficult to understand. It took me decades to get to the point where I'm like, oh, I could share this. There's a huge part in the book about people. You don't go anywhere without an incredible team. And so it talks a lot about the books that I love, the books that I read, the corporate psychologists, the classes that we took, the little classes that we took on how to read, how to lead, how to work virtually, how to pump each other up, how to know what our strengths are. Because I always think of teams, or my teams are like basketball teams or volleyball teams, sports teams. I love sport teams because if you're not super in sync, you're not going to win. And when these companies hire me and they pay me very well, I have to bring it. I have to make them super successful. And I think they bring me in because they've see the taking that up into many countries and taking that up to number one in Japan or entering Procore into like 10 different new countries or virtualizing VMware around the world or all these things that we've had the honor and pleasure to do with my teams. Like I have the vision or I work with corporate executives, but I need very nice teams. And so how you choose these teams, how you select these teams, who these teams are, it's all explained in the book as well. And so I think it has the what and it has the how. And I always talk about you need the what and you need the how because it's very complicated what they're asking me to do.
Yeah.
They're like, here's a Google
We have
product,
this.
go take it around.
Do something.
Well,
Yeah.
good luck to you.
So
Please
many
fix it.
complexities.
Yeah.
Yes.
And yes, last night I was talking to my daughter. She's on her first big real job. And she's like, Mom, I have to ask so many questions. I feel so embarrassed. I don't even know who else to ask. I don't want to be asking more questions. And I'm like, darling, this was me at Cisco. My first year at Cisco Systems was like, I picked a guy, poor guy, that all I did was ask him questions. And one day, because he said, oh, if you have another question, you always, Americans, you can always come back to me. I'm like, okay, that's the guy I will go. And I went so many times that one day he said, you need to find somebody else to go and ask questions.
Anna, please. Please stop.
Yeah. And then I thought, oh, I am screwed. I am so screwed.
Oh, no.
Who am I going to ask
Ooh.
all this stuff? And then they changed the system. I was so happy because the system was very, very complicated. We used to work on FrameMaker and Trados, and it was so complicated. But for young women, when they get into the workforce, it's kind of scary.
Yes.
And they want to do a
Yeah.
really good job, right? So I'm like, don't be afraid to ask, but maybe ask different people.
So as not to exhaust your
Make sure
resource.
they don't withdraw your invitation.
That's amazing.
Last question.
Anna, it wasn't the last question. I lied to you. We usually have a special last question for every interview. During the same season, this is our 5th season of the podcast.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So this question is very special because there are no good or bad answers. It depends on the experience of everyone, every person. So you can say whatever you want, whatever you think about it. And Marina is the one who makes the question because she adds kind of a suspense, to it. It's kind of a scary tone.
So, suspenseful music.
So
sci-fi music. Ana, AI, is it a friend or is it a foe? And why?
It's my friend.
Friend or enemy?
Oh, it's my
It's your friend. Okay.
Oh my
okay.
God, it's been my friend for a long time. It's my friend because I've taken a lot of classes. It's my friend, but personally, it's my friend. Community-wise, I don't know, but it's my friend. It's my friend because I learned how to prompt. I learned, I'm building on it. I have my own personal instance, so I make it work so hard.
it's your slave.
Because, yeah, I think I have an extra secretary or an executive assistant or somebody that is awesome. I do a lot with AI, so much. Oh my goodness. Excel files, Google Sheets. I create images. I make lists. I do a lot of proposals. You name it. Translations. I mean, all kinds of stuff. Even when my kids are like, "Mom, what would you?" I'm like, "Let me think." And on the side, I'm like, here's what I would say. It just helps me think. I think I have so much going on at any given time. And I think I have a pretty sharp brain, but I know that I forgot a lot of stuff. I have a lot of biases also. And I don't think about everything 360. And so I will prompt and ask, like, what am I missing? I'm thinking about this. What am I missing? And it will give me an answer. And then I will say, but I know I'm missing more things. And it will keep thinking with me. And so it's my friend.
Yeah, that's interesting.
All right. I like this. You befriended the AI.
I befriended my instance, yeah, for sure.
Amazing. Thank you, Ana. That's been a great interview. I learned a lot with you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. You're such an inspiration. Thank you, Ana.
Well, so are you, ladies. And remember, we need all of yous, all of us, all of yous together, because a lot of people are looking at you when you don't think it, when you don't think about it.
Yes.
And it's a big aha when they tell you, oh, you're a role model. I'm like, years ago, when I got some of the first awards in the Silicon Valley, you're a role model. I'm like, no, not a role model. Oh my God, it's so embarrassing. Now I'm like, heck yeah, I am, but you should be one as well.
Yeah, we are all role models. Yeah, exactly.
There you go. Very powerful women.
Yeah, lovely. You're lovely. Thanks a lot.
Much,
Thanks a lot, Ana. It's been
course.
amazing.
All right.
See you.
Awesome.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, ladies.
Este fue un nuevo episodio de En Pantuflas. Podés escucharlos todos en nuestra página web www.en-delmediopantuflas.com o suscribirte a Spotify, Apple Podcast y YouTube para enterarte apenas salen. Prohibida su reproducción de Buenos Aires, Milwaukee, Este podcast fue realizado con un 100% de inteligencia natural.